Welcome to another video today. It's been a while since I last made a long form video, but I've been wanting to do this video for quite a little bit now, and well, as seen from my edits, I have been kind of debating either to do this video or not. So today I'm gonna cover, and also in my personal opinion on who wins this battle. I'm gonna try to go in as depth as possible with Heisei Godzilla versus Monsterverse Godzilla. Who would win? To be clear here, this is going to be only base form Monsterverse Godzilla versus base form Heisei. And again, this is just going to be in my personal opinion. You can have a different opinion, and I respect it. Just don't get toxic, as the Godzilla community has a big problem with toxicity. But honestly, what fandom doesn't have a problem with toxicity? Let's be honest here. So, the categories that we'll be covering, I'll try not to have too many because my edits have too many of them. And also, another thing, may or may not make a few edits in this video here and there. Why? I don't know. I'm just bored. And I kind of want to put more work on myself. I really don't know anymore. Anyway, so the categories we'll be covering is physical strength, striking strength, and lifting strength, durability, endurance, speed, agility, IQ, experience, and battle experience, just abilities, I guess, not power, because power is crazy. I'm not going to do power scaling, I'm not like that, and that's basically it. May even do size as well, because why not? Anyway, let's get into it, then. To begin here, we'll start off with physical strength. So, also, I'm not going through based off feats from some of the comics that Monsterverse has, because he has a lot, and to be honest, I haven't read the comics myself, even if I want to. I've only seen, videos, from Dangerville going over them. I think even one time I even saw Goji Center go over at least a few. I don't really know. Anyway, going on. So, starting off with physical strength. So, in terms, who's stronger physically. So, starting with Heisei, he has pushed over Mechagodzilla and many other characters, starting with Ghidorah, I guess we can say. Okay, I'm not going to say Biollante, because I haven't, so a lot of the movies I haven't seen. I've seen almost every Godzilla film, just Heisei, I haven't seen all of his movies, and I cannot talk. Never mind. But, yeah, so, he is pretty easily able to overpower some monsters, even if, my personal opinion, he kind of sucks at close combat. Alright, now for Monsterverse, do I really need to say much about him, honestly, for physical strength? He's better at close combat than Heisei. That we're just gonna move on, I guess. Same with striking strength. Now, Heisei they both can hit really hard, don't get me wrong. But Heisei, I think the major weapon he uses to knock people over, instead of pushing, he likes to use his tail. And if that doesn't work, he'll just use his beam, which some may say, well, okay, this will be later, never mind. I should have wrote a script for this. I'm doing everything I say, I'm just saying, without a script. I'm not doing that I'm not doing that crap. Anyway. I cannot. Oh my. Once I got. Sorry about that, I'm back. Oh my. This is my first time covering something like this, and not to mention, this is my first time doing one of these videos. And I have no words, but moving on, I guess. So, now with lifting strength. So Monsterverse takes both striking strength and physical strength. For lifting strength, both of them have. This is where Heisei actually pretty shines. Now, Monsterverse Godzilla has lifted heavy foes. Let's for example, Muto Prime. Muto Prime weighed 135,000 metric tons, which is a lot. And when in a weakened state, he lifted Muto Prime onto his back to later finish her off. Now, for Heisei, he has lifted his best feat, at least in my opinion, from watching some of the movies, is when he lifted up Mechagodzilla. Heisei Mechagodzilla weighing 150,000 metric tons. And that was a simple pickup, and then he yeeted him, aka threw him. So my opinion, for lifting strength, it could either be a tie, or I could just give it to Heisei, which I'm going to give it to Heisei. Now for moving on to speed and agility. This isn't a how speed and agility is going to Monsterverse Godzilla. Alright, now for durability. Some people may say easily heisei. Although, I think some people like to overlook both sides to some of their feats, which I do sometimes, but I don't overestimate either character. So, going off with Monsterverse feats, and also I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video because I'm an idiot. Monsterverse Godzilla is not going to have his feats from his energized state or his evolved state. It's just going to be everything he had up until those forms. And so Thermal Godzilla does count somewhat, since, well, he just has 2019 feats. That's about it. I don't know. Anyway, so for durability, Monsterverse Godzilla, as early on as his ancient times, took the Permian asteroid and just walked it off like it was nothing. Sure, he may have been hurt, but how can we tell? He probably was like, this is Tuesday for me. Anyway, so, and then in 2014, while still weakened, he took a beating from the Mutos. And while, since the Mutos are designed to kill, they're basically built to kill him. I don't know why I said design, but whatever. And in Aftershock, took punches from Muto Prime, and Muto Prime is said to be able to crack tectonic plates. Now, can she move them? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say no. But she can break him, definitely. And Godzilla and the monsters did survive the Oxygen Destroyer. I'm terrible with feats, especially since it's been a long time, so I haven't talked about something like this. Anyway, so, yeah, Monsterverse Godzilla barely survived the Oxygen Destroyer. And that thing is designed to kill him. And, well, okay, so a feat that I see that goes back and forth was in GVK, whenever it said that I personally think Godzilla took the axe straight to the head. Sure, not fully, because it probably would have killed him. But, honestly, I think he did take it to the head. Why? Because at some point, whenever he was, walking around, there was, a small slight of glow on the top of his head. And it wasn't on his dorsal plates, which he does have small little spikes on his head. But it was more it looked like a wound a little bit. But also, when Kong punched him straight in the neck, ouch, by the way, there was I saw a small splash of blood coming out of his head. And there wasn't a mark on his head before until after the axe until Kong bonked him on the head. And so that's just my theory, at least, that Kong did actually hit Godzilla in the head with the axe, just not fully enough to work. Because I'm guessing if Kong did fully hit him in the head, it would have killed him. Unless Godzilla's skull is thicker than freaking bedrock from Minecraft. Frick. Back from the detour yet again. Alright, going on. So, yeah, I'm not the best at explaining this type of stuff. But now moving on to heisei, I guess, for durability. I know I didn't cover everything for each. I'm not going to cover everything for each because then I'd be yapping for a solid 2 hours. And who wants to do that around, let's say, for example, 2 in the morning? Who wants to do that? Anyway. For heisei, I'm just going to go ahead and say who gets the point. I'm tired. I'm just going to say who gets the point. It's heisei. Now, for IQ, this one is kind of iffy to me. So, IQ is kind of iffy to me whenever it comes to these two. It's people, either side likes to say, give stupid. Okay, so here's my thought on this debate, regardless. Monsterverse versus heisei, it's a cool debate, don't get me wrong, but it's also really stupid. Each side can give either valid reasons why either Godzilla would win, or they just say something completely random and hope that it works, instead of giving actual good feats, or giving proof of said feats, which I desperately hate sometimes. But do me and other content creators who talk about this debate, or at least do it, have to deal with that? Yeah, obviously. Have I seen it? No. I mean, would I have to deal with it? Probably. Anyway, I'm just gonna go on and say who has either point, and then I'll just give my personal opinion on the winner. So, after durability, durability would go to heisei, but barely. Now, like I said, yeah. Now for IQ, I'm gonna go and say it's a tie. Battle IQ. Personally, I think Monsterverse Godzilla has been in more fights than Heisei, comic books included. So, yeah. Battle experience, Monsterverse Godzilla is over 250 million years old, and yeah, like I said, battle experience, he's been fighting for millions of years. Abilities, I'd say it's somewhat equal. It's like, Monsterverse Godzilla may seem to have more abilities, but it's more like senses than anything. So, like, but I think, okay, yeah, so abilities, it's Monsterverse. And now, well, like I said, I may do size, and well, might as well go ahead and do it now, because why the heck not? It's obvious. It's Monsterverse Godzilla. I think he's just a slight bit taller than Heisei. And, yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. Honestly, I don't know what to say anymore. This whole idea, it was better in my head than it currently is. Right, I'm just gonna go, breaking the fourth wall, yeah, I did that too many times now. Do I care? Heck no! Yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just gonna go ahead and say who I think wins, personally. And in my opinion, it's without a doubt Monsterverse Godzilla. Wow, what a shock, because my profile picture was literally Monsterverse Godzilla. Now, do I think he wins easily? Heck nah. He will struggle quite a bit, since Heisei is no pushover. Heisei may not be strong physically, or at least not as physically compared to Monsterverse in close combat. Long-range combat, maybe. But, like, okay, so if they have to fight physically, Monsterverse is going to overpower Heisei, but Heisei could end up throwing him as well to counter him. Now, what difficulty do I think Monsterverse wins? Well, I'll have an edit at the end of this video, or, like, towards the end after I stop yapping, it's going to speak for me. But even if I'm going to go ahead and say it now, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, because I'm an idiot, whatever. My personal opinion, I think Monsterverse wins with extreme diff, possibly higher. Now, I do also think it can go 50-50. Why? Because I like both Godzillas, and I think it just goes that way. And, well, another thing we can go ahead and say I hate about this debate is that either side says the other one has to just fart on the other one, and then they win, which makes absolutely zero sense to me. I can't be the only one who finds some things that the Godzilla community says is, like, really, really dumb. And it's just a waste of oxygen to even mention, so. Yeah, that concludes this. This was not interesting at all, and yeah. The debate, it is interesting. It's more interesting than the video that I'm making, but whatever. Anyway, I guess this is the end, I guess. I don't know what to think anymore. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I guess like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. I can't. Oh my god. I'm gonna. Bye.
Saindo das profundezas, o cajão protetor da natureza. Godzilla, destruidor. Godzilla, seja o alfa predador. Sobre quem está no trono, eles já sabem muito bem que Godzilla é o rei dos monstros. Ele está saindo das profundezas, o cajão protetor da natureza.